All right, so I had a question from someone that wanted to know, what is healthier, consuming rice or wheat? So obviously that person has not been watching my keto videos too much. So I'm just going to cover what would be healthier, just so you have the data. You have white rice, okay, and you have white flour. So white rice basically has no hull. That's the very outer coating of the rice. There's no bran, which is the next coating or the next layer, and no germ, okay? So it's just pure carbohydrate. So it's about a 77 on the glycemic index, so it's pretty high. One of the problems consuming white rice is that you develop something called beriberi, which is a vitamin B1 deficiency. Now, when you consume white rice, you deplete more than B1, also some of the other B vitamins, but you really create a B1 deficiency. So beriberi is a neurological disease. It creates all sorts of problems with your nerves, neuritis. So any nerve pain in your body, you want to check a B1 deficiency. So B1 is really important. Also, it's going to create edema and swelling and increased pulse rate, memory problems, all sorts of problems with blood sugars. And I have quite a few videos on vitamin B1 deficiency. And this is why they enrich it, okay, with synthetic B1 and B2 and B3 and folic acid and iron. Of course, they take everything out, but they put a little bit back in there, but realize it's just synthetic. But it does prevent beriberi. All right, so now you have brown rice. What is brown rice? It's basically white rice with no hulls, okay? So it has the bran and the germ, so it's less refined. They take the very outer coating off this rice. And the glycemic index is 68, so it's actually not as bad. All right, so then you have wild rice, okay? Wild rice has the hull, it has the bran, and the germ. It has a lot more nutrition, and it's 52 on the glycemic index. It's a lot lower than these two right here. All right, let's talk about white flour. They're taking out the bran, which is the fiber, taking out the germ, and they're giving you this thing called endosperm, which is the complete carbohydrate. So it's basically, again, it's very similar to white rice as far as the carbohydrate content, because on the glycemic index, it's 77, pretty high, but without the nutrition. So that's why they enrich it with synthetic vitamins, iron, folic acid, B1, B2, and B3. All right, so now we have whole wheat. On the glycemic index, it's 72. It has the bran, the fiber, the germ, and the carbohydrate portion right here. But by definition, you only have to have 51% of these to call it whole wheat. So you could have 49% actually white flour in this product and still call it whole wheat. I don't know if you knew that before. All right, with wheat, you have a little more calcium, more B3, more zinc. With rice, you have less calcium, but more folic acid. Now, of course, when you're talking about wild rice, you're going to have more nutrition in there, okay, than white rice. So you really have to, look at what you're talking about right here. Now, with rice, you don't have any gluten, okay? With wheat, you have gluten. A large population of the planet, it has either a gluten allergy or a gluten intolerance. So they have a problem with gluten. So it creates a lot of digestive issues, okay? Now, rice has phytic acid. Of course, not the white, because the phytic acid is going to be in the bran and the hull, okay? So phytic acid is a chelator. It tends to pull out minerals and block the absorption of minerals. It's an anti-nutrient, so to speak. It is a powerful antioxidant. I have a separate video on that. So certain people can take it as a supplement to help chelate or reduce iron if they have too much iron in the body. But it does have some interesting properties, anti-cancer properties. But the point is that it does tend to block minerals. Okay, so phytic acid is in rice and it's also in wheat. Okay, but it's not as much in the white rice or the refined white flour because it's mainly on the hull or the bran. All right, then we have lectins, which is another compound that certain people are sensitive to, and it's a protective mechanism of the seed. Okay, it's in both rice and wheat. All right, so here's one of the problems. You say, well, I'll just have the white rice because it's healthier. No, it's actually going to spike your blood sugars, okay? Oh, I'll do the brown rice or the wild rice. Well, you have to realize that if you're living in America, 60% of samples tested had traces of arsenic, okay? And that's coming from the pesticides and also like even chicken fertilizer. I mean, it's in that as well, and it gets into the soils. So arsenic is a poison, all right? Wheat doesn't have arsenic. Wheat has glyphosate. So it's been exposed to that Roundup Ready chemical. It's an herbicide. So let's see, what's better, arsenic or glyphosate? Okay. All right. And if you sprout grains, soak them or ferment them, you can decrease the phytic acid and lectins. Okay. All right. So if I were to tell you which one is healthier, I'm going to pick the wild rice. But if you're on the keto plan, you shouldn't be consuming any rice. All right, guys, there you have it. That's your comparison from rice to wheat, and they both have some major drawbacks. So I want to thank you for being here and watching my videos. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so you can stay informed of future videos.